Okay, well, more or less like an extension of the show, Politics Today, on independent television and radio. Of course, I did say when we started the show that we're expecting a guest in the studio, the founder of Sahara Reporters. I mean, a thriving, foremost online publication that really has given Nigeria value for information access in the country. I'd like to thank very especially Omoyele Sowore for finding time to be here with us in the studio. Many thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Okay, we'll go straight to the point. You've always been a thorn in the flesh, using your platform against government, agencies, personalities, institutions, and all of that. So at what point did this presidential ambition come up in your mind?
It came up after I realized that it is probably going to need more than just being a thorn in the flesh of people who have become accustomed to thorns to change the country fundamentally, and that I cannot continue, or we cannot continue to use borrowed hands and voices to speak for aspirations that are very, very urgently needed now. The development of a country of 480-something million people, people who need to go to school, children that need to have hospital, women that need to deliver babies safely, people who need water running out of taps. And the general welfare of our people cannot continue to be in the hands of people who have gotten accustomed to just abusing their rights, stealing their wealth, and frittering their way, and turning around and putting us in a state of, in a despicable state. So, and it's also, we've reached a point where we cannot continue to use recycled people who have run out of ideas to run this country anymore. And we have seen that the country is not making any progress, and the country is almost dead. It's described as a failed country. We've just been told that Nigeria has taken over as the poorest place on earth to live. It used to be India. Yeah. So with the population that India had, China, they've been able to lift their people out of poverty. We have the advantage of the same population. We are digging our people deeper into poverty and misery. So this is what propelled me, that I'm not going to be the next person who report an election and claim that it's free and fair when I know it's not going to guarantee our people freedom or give them any kind of fairness. Considering what you have now seen, it's clear that we are not even going to have anything close to a free and fair election again, except we fight for it and put people who are vibrant, who have the intellect, who have the capacity, who have the stamina to govern this country appropriately and properly, the way it is done elsewhere.
You were always, some say, against the former administration, and to a large extent, some also say you benefited massively from the present administration in terms of image laundering, publicity stunt, and all of that. So it's as though you're back now to fight them with this ambition.
It's false to claim that I benefited from this government. Maybe you want to look at my history. I started as a student union leader at the University of Lagos and fought against military rule because that was our biggest problem at that time. After that, the biggest problem after the set of military rulers we had, or misrulers we had, was a bunch of civilians who were not interested in democratic parties. Like Obasanjo, I fought against his third term. And when Obasanjo left and put Yar'Adua there, I fought against the Yar'Adua cabal by exposing Yar'Adua's illness more than anybody ever did in the history of this country. That was how Jonathan came to power, because we fought strongly for him to be in power. When he came to power and started messing up, we went against him as well. And the same thing we did with the current. If I had benefited anything from them, they would have exposed me by now. I do not do business with people in government. I do business with my conscience. I do things that are right for this country, for my generation, and that's what I've done since I was in my 20s. You must have seen a video of me behind Abiola. Did I benefit from Abiola? Never. He even offered me $800,000. I'm sorry, Naira, in those days when it was a big deal. We never accepted, because we said we're not fighting for money, we're fighting to bring about democratic
what are you bringing on the table now, and what are your chances, considering the fact that Nigerian politics, they say, is dirty and then is capital intensive? What are the plus for you in this ambition?
The plus for me are all these young people, 70% of them who are tired and no longer accepting of the old ways of doing things. 70% of them are members of our population. The poor people who are being used to play ping pong during election period, they are the people who are now saying they want to burrow out of poverty. And all the people in this country, and even outside the country, Nigerians who have had to become second slaves outside the shores of this country, who are desirous of coming back home, we're getting all the support from them. It is not just an election. This is a revolutionary referendum on the old order that is tired, that is degrading our people, that have destroyed them, that have divided us, and have used all kinds of means to create tension, to create division, to create destruction of our economy. You see the system. Nigeria is broke, and the people of Nigeria are broken. I don't see anybody, nobody has told me they want to continue with this old tired order. And we've seen it already. So what am I bringing on the table? We're bringing fresh ideas to secure this country, to provide electricity, power, which I'm sure you would love in this studio, because then you don't have to put on generators that take all of your profit. To provide infrastructure. There's no reason why Benin Lagos Road has to remain the way it is since I almost was born. The first time I traveled on that road, when I came to Lagos in 1987, is the way it has been. They have been maintaining it. Billions of naira has been sunk into that. And that's not only in Benin, Lagos Road. There's roads broken everywhere. There's schools broken everywhere. The health system is broken. We don't have health care in this country. We have the capacity, we have the resources to make them happen. But it's not going to happen with the present crop of leaders you have who don't even know their left from their right. They only know how to take care of themselves. They only know how to steal, to destroy. They only know how to kill and assassinate. This country must brew itself and take itself out of that situation and put itself on the path of progress and prosperity, which is possible. Other nations around us are doing well. Countries as small as Ghana, they are growing at 7%. That's what the economic growth rate is.
Okay.
Places like Benin Republic have electricity. Togo's got electricity. So we just have to do something different.
Okay.
And that's what the
Well, it's been nice talking with you. I'm sure if you were here much earlier, probably would have had much time to talk. I've been speaking with Omoyele Sowore, the founder of Sahara Reporters.
Yes.
And of course, you know, he's got presidential ambition, and he's in Benin for a program. Of course, you'll get to hear more of that in our subsequent newscast and presentation. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope to be back here again on ITV.